Okay, new app time. Something that I've had to do for at least two different customers now is some form of lead routing. So basically somebody comes in to Salesforce, whether it's a web lead or a manually entered lead or something, and that lead needs to be assigned to a specific person or to a specific queue. Now, Salesforce does have a built-in way to do this under the lead section, but the biggest drawback is that it's limited in terms of assignment rules. It's limited in terms of how many different things can be active, and especially when you're dealing with lead routing based on zip code, which a lot of people do. This doesn't work because there are something like 40,000 zip codes in the US, and you can't really add these and manage these rules based on that. So what I have here is I have an app called M43 apps lead routing by postal code. And so what you do is there's this new table called routing tables. You go ahead and first of all you actually set up your queues that you want to route things to. So in this case we have a couple of different US queues. US queues Northeast, Northeast Boston, New York City, and Southeast. And then what you do is you go ahead and add in routing table entries. So we'll do 02113 should get routed to, let's just say it gets routed to the US leads Northeast queue. And you go ahead and you choose where it gets routed based on queue name, queue ID, username, or user ID. So if you want to find out the actual ID of the queue, you can stick it in there. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and stick in the name, and the system will do a search for the name and find out where it needs to go to. Lead source and lead status. In the future, you will be able to put in a specific lead source or a lead status and have the routing go there just when the lead has that source or status. I haven't finished re-implementing the code yet. Also, you have the ability to add in country code and then state codes. I just have a couple of options here. You can then possibly overwrite the default values on the lead with what the official values are. So let's just do a quick demo of this. So we have two leads in our routing table. We have they actually both go to the same place. Let's make this one go to Boston specific. So the 02113 will go to Northeast queue. The 02114 will go to the Boston queue. So if we do a quick test here, and we do Boston queue test. Now, one of the things that we have is we have a checkbox down here at the bottom that says apply routing table. The rules will only get applied, with one exception, if this checkbox is checked, and that's to prevent it from getting applied every single time. So if you want to move the owner, then you can do that manually, and the rules don't get reapplied until you go through and you check that box. So you'll notice now the lead owner is myself. If you check that box and we save it, it gets rerouted to Northeast Boston. Likewise, if I change it to the 1.3 code and I check the box, it'll get rerouted to just the Northeast queue. And you can see Chatter actually tracks those changes. So that's how we can automatically route leads. It's a very quick and down and dirty demo. Something else I want to cover in the minute or so that I have left is there are a number of custom settings that can be enabled or disabled. So always apply route will essentially force the lead ownership to be whatever the routing table says, and it ignores that checkbox. We can disable updates on insert or update. We can disable validation. So right now we check to make sure that the name of the queue and the name of the queue ID and so forth are all actually valid in the system. We can turn that off. That especially helps during data loading the initial rules. We also have options to overwrite data on the lead. So if one of these options are checked, then we'll actually take the city or country or state from the rule and we'll copy it over onto the lead. So that's kind of this new package in a nutshell. Interested in feedback? Let me know what you think. Thanks.